Neighborhood. I'm an honor roll student at Gateway Community College. I was leaving an Al-Anon meeting on August 5th, 2010 on St. Ronan, and I was assaulted, strangled in the seat of my driver's seat of a Honda Accord, the most stolen car in the country. I was profiled as a young male with tattoos and a stolen vehicle. The name on my license didn't matter, that it said Natasha. I was put in jail. I spent 5 hours in jail. I currently have a civil case against a Yale police officer who was a former New Haven PD officer around the same time that J.O. was assaulted. So there's too many ties to this in the community. We've got to break those ties and establish new ones. We've got to unite and come together to make this change. We need all walks of life. Doesn't matter where you came from or where you're going to, but no matter what, we're going there together. That's right. That's right.
My name is Tanya Smith, and my husband was a victim of police brutality. On July 10th, 2011, we were in our home preparing to have cake and ice cream for our son's birthday. There was a knock at our door. The police asked us to come outside to identify someone who had been pulled over in a traffic stop. We weren't aware of the traffic stop. We weren't a part of the traffic stop. We just happened to know the person that was pulled over. They asked my husband to come outside if he could identify his nephew. He said, sure, let me grab my bedroom slippers. When he came outside, the first officer that he approached was a state trooper. He asked the trooper which officer wanted to see me. The state trooper pointed to the New Haven officer and said, it's that one over there, but he's busy right now, so you have to wait. My husband informed him, well, I was busy too. I'm going back in my house, and you let him know when he's ready, feel free to come back and knock on the door. The state trooper didn't like that answer. He looked at my husband and said, oh, you're not going anywhere. What do you have? To which my husband responded, what do you mean, what do I have? I have nothing. He said, well, I'm just going to pat you down to make sure you don't have any weapons. My husband said, am I under arrest for anything? The answer was no. He said, am I a suspect in any crime? The answer was no. He informed the officer that he did not consent to a search and that he was going back in the house. At which point the state trooper began to circle him. My husband turned with the officer to keep eye contact with him so they could not accost him from behind. At which point they lunged forward at him in an attempt to check his pockets and pat him down. He fit the stereotype. We live in a newly built home. We had a luxury car parked in our driveway. We had 2 motorcycles, and they automatically assumed that we're drug dealers. Unfortunately, I hold an elected position within the city, and my husband is a union carpenter. We're hardworking, tax-paying citizens who abide by the law.
That's right.
But because they looked at us and they thought, oh, this is a black man with baggy jeans and cornrows in his head, he must be doing something wrong. So, when my husband refused to consent to a search, he was punched in the face, thrown to the ground, stomped in the back, kicked in the head, and then arrested and charged with criminal interference. His case has gone to court 6 times and is down to go to trial. Why? Because the police don't want to admit that they made a mistake. They profiled us. We did nothing wrong. The police in this city, in this state, and in this nation need to know that everybody that they come towards and they approach is not a criminal.
Right.
Everybody that they approach is not a drug dealer.
Right.
Everybody that they approach is not out to get them.
That's
Everybody
right.
that they approach does not mean them any harm.
That's right.
We need to break the cycle and let them know not only are we not afraid, but we will not tolerate our civil rights being violated.
Enough is enough!